She posted, "When your boyfriend doesn't even try anymore, after I worked 70-hour weeks to save for our house down payment." I didn't comment. Just withdrew my half from our savings and put it toward MY house deposit. When the bank declined her solo mortgage application. Original post. I, 29 male, have been with my girlfriend for 4 years. We've lived together for the last 2.5 in an apartment that I pay 60% of rent on because I make more money. That arrangement was her idea, BTW. Proportional contribution, she called it. About 18 months ago, we started talking seriously about buying a house. She was excited. I was excited. We made a plan. Save aggressively for 2 years. Aim for a $45,000 down payment on a starter home in the $280,000 range. We'd each contribute what we could, track it separately but work toward the same goal. Her target was around $18,000. Mine was $27,000, again because of the income difference. Here's where things started going sideways. I took on extra work. My regular job is in logistics management, decent salary, solid benefits, but not exactly making it rain. To hit my savings target, I started picking up overtime whenever it was available. Covered for people on vacation. Took weekend shifts during peak seasons. For the last 8 months especially, I've been averaging 65 to 70-hour weeks. Sometimes more. I'm tired, like bone-deep exhausted. But I kept telling myself it was temporary. We were building something. A future. Our future. My girlfriend, meanwhile, was supposed to be saving too. And technically she was. But her definition of saving aggressively and mine turned out to be very different. She'd put money into her savings account, sure, but she'd also pull from it for emergencies that weren't emergencies. A concert she couldn't miss because her friends were going. A new winter coat because her old one was dated. A spa weekend for her sister's birthday that somehow cost $400. Every time, she'd say she'd make it up next month. She never did. I didn't say anything for a long time, partly because I was too tired to fight, partly because I figured she'd get it together eventually. She's an adult. She knows the goal. Then about 3 weeks ago, I came home from a brutal Saturday shift, 12 hours on my feet dealing with a warehouse crisis, and found her on the couch watching Netflix with a face mask on. "Hey," I said, dropping my keys. "Long day." She barely looked up. "There's leftover Thai in the fridge." I heated up the food, sat down next to her, and she paused her show to look at me. "You look rough," she said. Not concerned. Just observational. "I feel rough. But it's fine. Another few months and we'll have enough." She nodded slowly. "About that." I was looking at the numbers, and I think we should push the timeline back. Push it back? We're almost there. I know, but I haven't been able to save as much as I planned. Things came up. I took a breath. "How much do you have?" She hesitated. "Like 11,000. 11,000. 18 months of saving, and she had $11,000. I've been killing myself for 8 months and had hit my $27,000 target 2 weeks early. She was $7,000 short of her much smaller goal. I didn't yell, didn't even raise my voice. Just said, "Okay, what's your plan to make up the difference?" "I was thinking maybe you could cover the gap. Just temporarily. I'll pay you back once we're in the house, and I'm not paying rent anymore." That's when something shifted. She wasn't asking. She was assuming. "Let me think about it," I said. I went to bed early. Couldn't sleep, but I needed to not be in the same room as her. The next day was Sunday. I worked another shift. When I got home, she was out with friends. I didn't think much of it until my phone buzzed with a notification from Instagram. She'd posted a photo, some kind of aesthetic coffee shot from a brunch spot. The caption read, "When your boyfriend doesn't even try anymore. Self-care Sunday, because someone has to prioritize my happiness." 300 likes. 42 comments. All from her friends and coworkers, sending heart emojis and "you deserve better" queen messages. I stared at my phone for probably 5 minutes straight. I'd worked 70-hour weeks for 8 months. Missed holidays with my family. Skipped my best friend's birthday party. Developed what I'm pretty sure is chronic back pain from standing so long. Also, we could have a house. Our house. And she posted that I didn't try anymore because I was too tired to, what? Take her to brunch? I didn't comment on the post. Didn't text her. Didn't say anything. Instead, I logged into my savings account. Looked at my $27,000. Thought about everything I'd sacrificed to get it there. Then I made some calls. First, I called my buddy who works as a mortgage broker. Asked him hypothetically what kind of house I could afford on my own. He ran some numbers. With my credit score and income, I could qualify for around $240,000 with a $27,000 down payment. Not the house we've been planning, but a house. My house. Second, I called a real estate agent I'd been in contact with during our joint search. Told her I was now looking solo. She had a few properties in my range and could show them this week. Third, I transferred my $27,000 into a separate account. Untouchable. Mine. By Tuesday, I put an offer on a small 3-bedroom ranch that needed some cosmetic work but was structurally sound. By Friday, my offer was accepted. I didn't tell my girlfriend any of this. She came home Friday night in a good mood, talking about some work drama. I listened, nodded, waited for her to run out of steam. "Hey," I said when she finished. "I need to tell you something." "What's up?" "I put an offer on a house. It was accepted today." Her face did this weird thing. Confusion, then excitement, then confusion again. "Wait, what? We weren't supposed to start looking until next month. Did you find something amazing? Let me see the listing." "It's not for us. It's for me. I'm buying it alone." The silence that followed was almost physical. "What do you mean alone?" "I mean, I'm buying a house with my money. The money I saved. You're not on the mortgage. You're not on the deed." She laughed. Actually laughed. Very funny. "Seriously, show me the house." "I'm not joking. After your Instagram post, I realized we have different definitions of what trying looks like. So I decided to try for myself instead." Her face went white, then red. "My Instagram post? That was just venting. Everyone does that. You told 300 people I don't try anymore. After I worked 70-hour weeks for 8 months. Well, you spent your savings on spa weekends and concerts. I can't believe you're making this about money. We're supposed to be partners. Partners contribute equally, or at least try to. You contributed $11,000 and a public accusation that I'm lazy. I contributed $27,000 in chronic exhaustion. That's not a partnership." She started crying. "Hard. You can't just do this. We had a plan. You can't just change the plan without talking to me. You changed the plan when you decided saving was optional. I'm just responding to the situation you created. So, what? I'm just supposed to find somewhere else to live. The lease here is in both our names. It renews in 4 months. I'll cover my portion until then, but after that, you'll need to figure out your own situation. Same as me." She grabbed her phone and stormed into the bedroom, slamming the door. The next few days were icy. She barely spoke to me except to make pointed comments about how some people abandon their partners when things get hard. Then, about a week later, she tried to buy a house on her own. I only know this because the mortgage broker she went to, not my buddy, a different one, is apparently friends with someone in my office. Word gets around. She applied for a mortgage with her $11,000 down payment and her income from her admin job. She got declined. Insufficient down payment for the loan amount she wanted, plus her debt-to-income ratio was too high because of her car payment and credit cards. The bank told her she'd need either a larger down payment or a co-signer. She didn't have either. Update 1, 2 weeks later. Things have escalated in ways I expected and ways I didn't. First, the expected stuff? She's furious. Like, genuinely seething. She's been alternating between cold silence and explosive arguments. The arguments all follow the same pattern. I betrayed her, I sabotaged our future. I'm financially abusive for not sharing my savings. That last one really got me. Financially abusive. I worked 70-hour weeks, saved every penny, and I'm the abusive one because I won't hand over my money to someone who publicly mocked me for not trying hard enough. I told her, "I'm not stopping you from buying a house. I'm just not buying one for you." She didn't have a response to that. Second, the unexpected stuff. Her family got involved. Her mom called me. Not texted, called. Old school. "I heard what's happening," she said. No greeting. "Okay. You're really going to leave my daughter homeless over a social media post?" "I'm not leaving her homeless. We have an apartment with 4 months left on the lease. She has time to figure out her next steps. Same as any adult. She's been counting on this house. You know that. She's been counting on my money. There's a difference. Her mom went quiet for a second. Then, you've always thought you were better than her, haven't you? I almost laughed. No, ma'am. I thought we were equals. She's the one who posted publicly that I wasn't enough. I'm just taking her at her word. She hung up. Her dad, weirdly, has stayed out of it. From what I've gathered through the grapevine, he thinks she was wrong about the Instagram post, but also thinks I'm overreacting. Classic fence-sitter. At least he's not actively attacking me. Her friends, though. Her friends have been a whole thing. One of them, her best friend since college, sent me a DM that was basically a bullet-pointed list of why I was toxic. Highlights included not supporting her emotional needs, prioritizing work over the relationship, and weaponizing financial stability as a form of control. I screenshotted it and sent it to my buddy with the caption, "I didn't know saving money was a weapon." He sent back a laughing emoji and said I should get that printed on a t-shirt. The house closing is scheduled for next month. Inspection came back clean, except for some minor electrical stuff that the seller agreed to credit me for. I've already started planning what I'm going to do with each room. The spare bedroom is going to be a home office. The basement has potential for a workshop. It's small, but it's mine. Meanwhile, my girlfriend, I guess I should start calling her my ex at this point, though we haven't officially said those words yet, has been scrambling. She asked her parents for money to supplement her down payment. They said no. Apparently, they're already helping her older brother with some debt stuff and can't stretch further. She asked her sister, who's still paying off student loans, and literally laughed at her. Then she came to me with a proposal. She sat me down at the kitchen table with this whole presentation vibe. Seriously, she had notes. "Okay," she said. "I know things have been tense, but I have an idea that could work for both of us. I'm listening. What if I move into your new house? Not as an owner, just as a tenant. I'll pay rent, fair market rate, and we can see if we can rebuild things. It's not ideal, but it's practical." I stared at her. "You want to move into the house I bought with the money I saved while you were posting about how I don't try hard enough?" I said I was sorry about that. When? She blinked. "What? When did you apologize?" "Because I don't remember hearing one." She opened her mouth, closed it, opened it again. I thought it was implied. It wasn't. And no, you're not moving into my house. That house is mine. It's the one good thing to come out of this mess. And I'm not going to let you turn it into another situation where I do all the work and you complain about the results. She threw her notes on the table. "You're being so petty about this." It was one post. It was one post that showed me exactly how you see our relationship. You see me as someone who should be grateful you're with him. Someone who needs to try harder to deserve you. I spent 8 months trying as hard as I physically could, and your response was to mock me to everyone you know. That's not one mistake. That's who you are. She didn't cry this time. Just went cold. "Fine. I'll find my own place. But good luck finding someone else who puts up with your workaholic nonsense. I'd rather be alone than be with someone who resents me for working." She slept on the couch that night. First time since we moved in together. Update 2, 3 weeks later. Things have reached a breaking point, and honestly, I'm relieved it's almost over. First, I closed on the house. Signed the papers, got the keys, walked through my empty living room, and just stood there for about 10 minutes. It's real. It's mine. Nobody can take it from me. The first night, I slept on an air mattress because I hadn't moved my furniture yet. Didn't care. Best sleep I'd had in months. Second, my now officially ex-girlfriend has been on a mission to make sure everyone knows her version of events. She posted again, this time a long paragraph about surviving financial abuse in relationships and how some people use money as a weapon to control their partners. No names, but anyone who knows us knows exactly who she's talking about. The comments were split this time. Her close friends rallied with the supportive stuff, but I noticed a few mutual acquaintances staying quiet. One of my co-workers who follows her sent me a screenshot with the caption, "Is she serious? You work yourself half to death." I didn't respond publicly. Didn't defend myself. The people who matter know the truth. The people who don't can believe whatever they want. But here's the thing that actually surprised me. Her boss saw the posts. My ex works at a mid-sized marketing firm. Professional environment, corporate clients. Her boss apparently follows her on Instagram. Probably a team-building thing that HR suggested at some point. When you post publicly about financial abuse and toxic relationships with enough identifying details that coworkers can figure out who you're talking about, it tends to raise questions. Her boss called her into a meeting to check in on her well-being. Standard HR stuff. My ex, thinking this was a sympathy play, unloaded the whole story. How her boyfriend, me, had abandoned her, how she was struggling financially, how stressed she was. The boss listened politely, then mentioned that the company had an employee assistance program if she needed counseling or financial guidance. Very professional, very supportive. And then, according to a mutual friend who works at the same company, the boss quietly started giving some of her client-facing responsibilities to other team members. Not officially a demotion, but definitely a step back. The official reason was reducing her workload during a difficult personal time. The real reason, everyone assumed, was that nobody wants someone who's posting about personal drama to be the face of their brand partnerships. She's still employed, still getting paid, but she's been sidelined, and she knows it. I didn't plan for that to happen. It's just what happens when you air your grievances publicly and forget that your professional life and personal life aren't separate boxes. Third, the apartment situation. We officially had the breakup conversation about a week ago. She asked if I was really serious about not letting her move in. I said yes. She asked if I'd at least help her with a security deposit for a new place. I said no. She called me heartless. I called it boundaries. She's moving out next week. Found a one-bedroom apartment she can afford on her own. It's smaller than what she wanted, in a less convenient location, and she has to get a roommate to make the numbers work. She's furious about all of it. This is your fault, she told me. If you had just stuck to the plan, we'd be in a house together right now. If you had stuck to the savings plan and not posted about how I don't try, we'd be in a house together right now. But you didn't. So here we are. I can't believe I wasted 4 years on you. I can't believe I spent 8 months working 70-hour weeks for someone who thought I wasn't trying. She didn't have anything to say to that. Fourth, her mortgage situation got worse. She tried 2 more lenders after the first rejection. Both declined her for similar reasons. The last one actually told her that if she could save for another 12 to 18 months and pay down some of her credit card debt, she'd be in much better shape to qualify. 18 months of saving. Exactly what we were supposed to do together. Except now she'd have to do it alone, from a more expensive apartment, without a partner's income to fall back on. I heard through the grapevine that she broke down crying when the last lender said no. Part of me felt bad. The part that remembered falling in love with her, making plans together, believing we were building something real. But then I remembered the Instagram post, the 300 likes, the 42 comments, the "you deserve better" queen chorus from people who had no idea how hard I'd been working. The sympathy faded pretty quick after that. Final update 1 month later. I'm writing this from my new house. My house. Still weird to say that. The furniture is mostly set up now. I want a little budget on most things: secondhand couch, basic bed frame, IKEA, everything in the kitchen. But it's mine. I picked it all out myself. Didn't have to compromise on anything. The spare bedroom is officially a home office. I've already started working from home a couple days a week, which has done wonders for my back and my sanity. The 70-hour weeks are over. I'm back to my normal 45 with occasional overtime when I actually want the extra money. My savings account is rebuilding slowly. My stress levels are the lowest they've been in a year. As for my ex, she moved out of her old apartment 2 weeks ago. I helped carry boxes to her car because I'm not a monster, and also because I wanted closure. Physical, tangible closure. Watching her drive away with her stuff was that closure. She's living with a roommate now. Someone she found on one of those roommate matching apps. From what I've heard through mutual friends, it's not going great. The roommate is apparently messy and loud, which is hilarious because my ex used to complain about my obsessive tidiness. Her job situation stabilized a bit. She's still not handling the big client accounts, but she's been assigned to some internal projects that are lower profile, but steady. She seems to be keeping her head down professionally, which is probably smart. She hasn't posted about me again. The last thing I saw on her Instagram before I unfollowed was a generic motivational quote about new beginnings and leaving toxic situations behind. She got maybe 50 likes. The sympathy engagement seems to be dying down. Her family has gone quiet too. Her mom never reached out again after that first call. Her dad sent me a text about a week ago that just said, "I hope you're doing well. No hard feelings on my end." I appreciated that, actually. Responded with a simple thanks. "Same to you." And that was it. One of her friends, not the one who sent me the toxic bullet points, a different one, actually apologized to me. We ran into each other at a coffee shop, and she pulled me aside. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I believe her version of things at first, but then I heard more details, and yeah, I don't think you did anything wrong. "I appreciate that," I said. "I'm not looking for apologies. I just want to move on." For what it's worth, she's struggling. Not just financially. I think she's realizing how much she took for granted. I didn't know what to say to that. Still don't, honestly. Part of me thinks she deserves to struggle. Part of me remembers 4 years of good times mixed in with the bad. Part of me just doesn't care anymore. That last part is growing. Here's the thing about this whole mess. I don't feel like I got revenge. I didn't set out to punish her. I just decided to stop letting her benefit from my work while she complained about it. The consequences that followed, the mortgage rejections, the roommate situation, the job setback, those weren't things I did to her. Those were things that happened because she'd built her expectations around my contributions. When I removed myself from the equation, the math stopped working. That's not revenge. That's just reality. I've been thinking about what I want next. Not romantically. I'm nowhere near ready for that. But just life-wise, career-wise. I've got a house now, a foundation. I can build from here. Maybe I'll finish the basement eventually, turn it into something useful. Maybe I'll plant a garden in the backyard. There's a sunny spot that would be perfect for tomatoes. Maybe I'll just sit on my porch after work and enjoy the quiet. Last week, I had my best friend over for the first time. We ordered pizza, watched a game, and he said, "Dude, this place is perfect for you." I looked around at the mismatched furniture and the bare walls and the boxes I still haven't unpacked and realized he was right. It's not perfect in the Pinterest sense, but it's perfect in the sense that it's mine. I built this. I earned this. Nobody can post about how I didn't try hard enough because the evidence of my effort is literally the roof over my head. That's worth more than any validation from the internet. I'm not happy yet. Not completely. There's still some grief mixed in with the relief. 4 years is a long time to invest in something that doesn't work out. But I'm getting there. The house is quiet at night. Sometimes I think about how different things could have been if she just appreciated what we were building instead of complaining about the process. But she didn't. And I can't change that. All I can control is what I do next. Right now, what I'm doing is sitting on my second-hand couch in my too-empty living room, typing this out for strangers on the internet. Tomorrow, I'm going to hang some pictures on the walls. Maybe buy a plant. Start making this place look like someone actually lives here. Small steps, but forward ones. Thanks for reading. And if you're in a situation where someone's taking your effort for granted while publicly complaining about you, trust me when I say, your contributions belong to you. You get to decide what you build with them. Build something for yourself.